Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And this morning, I'm outside doing some chores. You all, I am so happy to be outside. This has been a rough couple of weeks for us. We have been pretty sick. I'm still to a point where if I talk too much, I start coughing a lot. So I'm still getting better. Okay, my goodness. I'm still getting better. Mr. H is he's doing better. The guinea's gonna try to eat y'all food, just so y'all know. Ugh. Hold on. But Mr. H is better. He's doing much better. He got a slight cough. But mine is crazy. Man, everything is frozen out here, which is fine. I gotta be careful. Frozen. Oh. all of the waters are frozen. Everything is frozen. So before we do, oh, I know why he took it off. I'm gonna wrap up the chores. I'm gonna meet y'all in the garden. Poor Sage. All right, so I'm done with them. Their pool is actually filling up right now, so they love swimming in that pool, even though it's freezing outside. I know some of you were concerned about the hay. I'm gonna leave the turkeys put up right now until I can get this video done, because if not, there won't be a video. But anyway, I know y'all were concerned about the hay. But that hay is mostly for, that hay is for bedding. We don't use it for feed. It's mostly, we buy those big round bales of hay for, oh no! The water hose came out of the pool. I gotta run back over here. But anyway, we use this hay, or did it come out? No, it didn't. Okay, so we use this hay for bedding in the winter. Yeah, actually we use it throughout the summer, the fall, and the winter, and the spring for bedding for our ducks, our chicks, our goats, our turkeys. We use it for bedding for them. I think many of you probably remember the video that I did on the compost, making enough compost, I believe, for a whole season, right? And that's because we mulch real heavy. Oh, sorry about the sun. We mulch real heavy with that hay in the chicken house, and man, it's actually looking really, really good. It's breaking down really good. They're just pooping all over it. And we're actually getting ready to put some more on top of that, so that when the spring rolls around, my little kitty wits, when the spring rolls around, all we do is pull all of that out in a pile, and we use that to fertilize our garden, okay? So it's like we let the chickens make our compost for us, all right? Now, But anyway, that's what that hay is for. It's not for feed, because some of you were saying turn the bales over so that the rain doesn't damage them. Let me fix my camera. Okay, that's better. So now I'm in this mess of a garden. Yes, I am. It is a disaster. We haven't pulled up a single plant. Not one. But Mrs. H, why would you leave all that stuff in the ground? Why wouldn't you pull all of that stuff out of the garden? Why would you just leave it? I'll tell you. Number one, we got to pull this stuff out anyway, right? It's got to come out anyway. When the plants are still alive, and this is just my own thinking and the way that I prefer to do things, but when the plants are still alive, everything is still pretty strong, roots and all, right? And they're hard to pull out, some of them. But after a frost hits them, and they all die back, like so, they come out extremely easy. I can literally just pluck it right up out of the ground, and it's fine. Another thing is that underneath our ground cover here, we have a row of primarily compost and some fertilizers. Like we'll use the chicken manure, and if I don't have enough chicken manure, I'll use feather meal or blood meal. Some of you may use blood meal, but I'll use the feather meal. I'll use some bone meal, which is basically all the fertilizers that we use, but we recently started using azomite. Does the azomite make a difference? In my opinion, it makes a tremendous, absolutely tremendous difference in the growth of the plant. So those are primarily what we'll use, the fertilizers that we'll use in our garden. But when we leave the plant in, the roots keep the soil so loose. The worms find their way up to the roots. The worms love to feed around the root systems of these plants. So the worms find their way up, and then this just becomes such a beautiful relationship between bugs, all of the materials that the soil needs to produce healthy crops. There's so many of them, and some of them are just so their names are so scientific. I'm not even going to bother with that. Just know that there's a relationship going on in this soil that makes the plants extremely healthy and happy. When I leave the plants in over the winter, hey baby, come on. I know you want some attention. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Yes, hello there, baby. Isn't she beautiful? She's just beautiful. Hello there, baby. You want to get down there? Okay, bye. You came to me. She came to me. Then she tried to fight and get down. I mean, he. But anyway, you all, man. Now when we pull these up, the soil will still be nice and loose down there. Am I taking the ground cover up? No. Remember, we tilled this area, and we tilled it once, and then we made the rows, and then we put the ground cover over the top of the rows and put holes in the ground cover, right? And then after we did that, we fertilized the hole itself, right, where my plant was going to go. There are videos from the 2021 garden season that talks about that, okay, where I show you all what I did and how I did that. So now, I don't want the sun to get in your eyes, so I better come back this way. So now, as you can see here, all of this behind me, even the okra seeds, I still have a ton of okra seeds that we didn't harvest even though I harvested a lot of them, I have more okra seed than I know what to do with, right? So now, you all, now I didn't really worry about the harvesting the okra seeds from the jambalaya okra, but from the heavy hitter okra that one of our subscribers sent to us, the red burgundy and the Japanese pink, I think it was. We did harvest seeds from, save the seeds from those because they were all heirloom variety. But anyway, all of this that you see out here, we left it. So now when we come out, I don't have gloves on. See? Comes right up. Let me show you. Hope you could see me. There we go. Look at there. It all just picks right up out of the ground. And I'll just toss it to the side. That's how easy it is to clean up. I don't have to fight to pull these plants, these dead plants out of the ground. I let the winter do it for me. They make it easy for me. I'm not going to fight. I'm going to let nature help me. But y'all, when we go back and clean all of this up and pull all of these plants out from under the ground cover, I'm not taking the ground cover up. This ground cover was something to put down to begin with. So no, I'm not going to bother with pulling it up and then putting it back down again. If I don't have to, I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to leave it in place. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to fertilize this hole. None of these rows. Now, I'll say this. If for any reason the rows start to sink, meaning the compost breaks down so much so that I don't have a row anymore, then yes, I'll probably pull up the ground cover, add more compost to the top of this, and then go back and cover it again. The reason why I like the rows with the ground cover, it makes the drainage so easy because our land slopes in this direction. So if it was just flat, the water would probably just settle. But because we actually have it in rows with, you can see how the center of this, and this is not a wide space either. It's like 18 inches wide. And we originally did 18 inches because this was literally originally going to be our market garden prior to COVID as well. Didn't work out that way because, of course, the markets were shut down. But you all, I hope this is helping some of y'all. But you all, I'm trying to keep the sun out of your eye. But you can see I'm standing up high. My rows are still pretty high. So I don't really have to do anything except fertilize the holes here. That's it. That's it. And remember I told y'all loofah lane was so productive? I'm inside the garden and loofah lane literally jumped one fence to my trellis here that I had my tomatoes on, and loofah lane was going down the trellis right along with the tomatoes, right? So loofah lane was just an explosion in 2021, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to put her back. I'm not even sure because that was just crazy. I'm thinking about finding another place for loofah lane. But in any case, you all, you can see the rows are pretty high. The drip tape is still down. We didn't take the drip tape up at all. So we left the drip tape down. I hope it's okay. We don't know. They move y'all over. Look at all this okra. All these pods. This is all heavy hitter right here. Full of seeds. Look at there. This is just, man, if I squeeze this, okra seeds are going to go everywhere, right? And these seeds are still good. But they've been out here in the weather and it's been freezing and they are still good. Trust and believe me when I tell you that. They will still grow. I done it before. Pepper row here. Now, Will I plant, let me sit this down. Will I plant these things in the same place as I did last year? I'm going to change them up, not because of a pest issue, but after planting, there's some things that I would like to have closer to the gate entrance to be able to get to quickly, like my green beans. My green beans were on those two end rows. I would actually like my green beans to be closer to this side, which means I would have to move the trellises. Do I want to do that? No, I really don't, you know. So what I'm going to do instead, where I have my trellises at here, I had squash growing, spaghetti squash. We had a ton of spaghetti squash. I still got spaghetti squash in there. I still got spaghetti squash, even after sharing and spaghetti squash and giving some away. I still got spaghetti squash in there. So I'm instead of putting spaghetti squash on this row here, just because of the squash bugs, yeah, I'm gonna move that from this end and put it all the way on that side where the tomatoes were. I'm gonna end up putting tomatoes. Now, the one thing I'll say this, and I know I'm jumping all over the place, y'all. I got so much going in my head right now about the garden, is that with my tomatoes, they're spaced 3 feet apart. I don't ever space them 2 feet apart. I space them 3 feet apart. Now, you don't have to do that. I do that because I have the room to do it. But you can space tomatoes 18 inches apart, minimum, okay? Minimum. I'm going to do a separate video talking about those tomatoes. But mine are 3 feet apart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put my tomatoes back here again on these trellises here, just simply because they did so well. The spacing was great. They did so well with me having them like with these big gaps. I have a tomato row here, and then I had a row here with squash behind me. Can you see? And then I had another tomato row. And then in the middle of that, I had okra. And then I had another tomato row. So I didn't have my tomatoes side by side because the year prior, in 2020, 2020 was a girl, wasn't she? But in 2020, you all, I had my tomatoes side by side. And that was very difficult to get in to harvest the tomatoes. It was just a nightmare, even though my rows are 4 feet apart. Even though I have space and then like 4 feet in between the actual plants going in this direction, that was still a nightmare. Those tomatoes needed much more space. So as I sit out here thinking about the garden, preparing now to come out and get the garden all cleaned up and stuff, you know, getting it ready for spring, I start thinking about, where am I going to put this and that? What am I going to do, right? And the one thing I can tell you is that the tomatoes will probably stay in the same place, but other things will probably change. I may take this trellis up and bring it down here where the green beans were so that I can move the squash all the way down. And I won't be doing 2 rows of green beans this year, because if you remember, I did 2 rows of green beans last season. I did a row of the jade, which is such a sweet, it's just a good bean. It really is. It tastes good. I did a row of jade, and I did a row of strike. That row of strike produced enough green beans for us to eat fresh, to can, and to save seed from. It sure did. So we have plenty. So I won't be planting any jades this year. And I say that now, but I could change my mind. You know, it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. But in any case, y'all, so far as I walk out here, I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do in this garden for 2022. Okay? The one thing I will say is that the pepper plants that we planted last year, these little bamboo stakes right here, they did an okay job, but I think each one of these plants need probably about, if I'm going to use these again, they need about 2 or 3, because some of the plants got so big that one stake was just being pulled over. So I may have to do something different than use the bamboo stakes for my jalapenos and my bell pepper, especially the bell pepper. Oh, and the jalapeno plants were so big. So I might have to change that up. Yeah. But other than that, you all, I think that, oh, and definitely the sunflowers, I'll be doing those again for sure. And I love the way that I planted them last season, where I just sporadically put a sunflower. I thought that was so beautiful to see, to come out to the garden and just in different areas of the garden see these great big giant sunflower heads. It was absolutely beautiful. Okay, so you all, that's gonna do it. I just wanted to take a walk through this big messy garden, a big beautiful mess of a garden, and just kind of give you an idea of how we put the garden down, but what our plans were for 2022 for the garden as well. So I'm so super excited about all of this. I mean, like I said, it looks a mess, but it's really a beautiful mess. So yeah, I'm definitely doing the strike beans again. The okra, I'm definitely gonna do the emerald okra, the jambalaya okra, because that jambalaya is just my favorite. It just tastes so good. It tastes amazing. I love it for fresh eating. And that heavy hitter okra is absolutely awesome for canning. Okay, can't go wrong with that one for canning. But anyway, you all, that's gonna do it for this garden. I'll be talking to y'all about future garden plans right over there. Yes, right over there. Anywho, but yeah, we're planning to expand the garden, you all, but that's a video for another day. Okay, but Bud, you want to say hi? Say hi. Come here. Come on, I can't put them in the sun. Come here. Look up to him. Say hello, Bud. Where you at? There him go. There him go. Say hello, Bud. Say hello. But anyway, y'all, that's gonna do it for this. That's gonna do it for this video, you all. If you haven't done so, give our video a thumbs up. I've missed talking to y'all, but like I said, Mr. H and I, we were just, whoa, we're better now, much better now. In spite of how I may sound, believe me, I'm much better than I was. Okay, but in any case, you all, that's gonna do it. If you haven't done so already, give our video a thumbs up. Don't excuse me, forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that we upload to our channel. And thank you all so much again for watching Homestead Heart. Again, I've missed you all so much. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Yeah, because I got something sweet to show y'all. Come on, bud.